Hello, hello. I'm here just to chill and chat with anybody that would like to join. Come on in, have a seat, and we will just chill and chat. I just realized I was muted. Hey, Joni. No problem. Um, yeah, last night was fine. Definitely. I'm doing good. I slept a good portion of the day, though. How are you feeling? That's good. Yeah, I just decided to jump on just to see if there would be anybody coming on, you know. Oh, I didn't see that Amy's on, Miss Brisker's on. Lifeboat's on. What do you mean, sorry, you had to get in? You don't have to be sorry about nothing, Joni. There you are.
Good. I was pretty cool. I,
Yeah.
I'm using my phone, so
Huh?
I'm using my phone, so sorry about that.
Oh.
I got home, I had to get myself a computer last night, so
Oh, I bet. You were on for a long time.
oh, I don't know. I looked at how like, I was only down in a couple hours, and everybody showed up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
end up falling asleep till like 6 a.m.
I can picture that. Because I fell asleep about 2 hours after, not even 2 hours, like maybe an hour after.
Yeah, I finally slept, and then I woke up, I think, at 11, fed the animals, and went back to bed.
Wow. 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 So I had to close YouTube just to pay attention to streaming hours, so
Yeah, I tried to look before I come on to see like who was all on, and at
yeah.
first it didn't show like anybody was on. So I was like, "Well, I'll jump on just because." And
Yeah,
then I looked again, like there's quite a few on.
really?
Yeah, Amy's on, Mitch Brisker's on, um, uh, our Scientology stories is on, the lifeboat's on.
Yeah. Practically everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, I noticed that too. It's like 5 people all on at the same time. No, I have to pick and choose who I want to watch.
yeah. On Peeling the Onion, there's 4 people there.
Right? I seen that.
Yeah,
I'm going to get my Starbucks. Actually came with coffee. Got prepared with coffee tonight, so today's my first day in the rest of the 9 hour shift, so
you work today?
I did a half shift today. It's one of those weird things I got to choose for my work. They said 4 shifts minimum, so I'm like, okay, I'll do Tuesday happy, Wednesday through Saturday a full 10 hour shift. So up until the end of this month, I could work 40. I can only work up to like 42 hours, and then after the end of this month to the beginning of the new year, I able to work up to 46 hours in a week. So yeah, I'm gonna be like stupid busy at work. And that's what I'm saying right now. As far as work. Mm. Hit the right spot. So What about you? How's work going?
I was off yesterday and today, and then I go back tomorrow and
Cool.
work my full schedule.
Wow. At least we have one day in common off, and that's Mondays.
Yeah. I really wanted Sunday and Mondays off, but they don't allow weekends off.
That bites. And I don't mean that rhetorical. I really mean that bites.
Yeah. I was like, at least with my last job, it was just one weekend day you had to work. I was like, I can deal with that.
Yeah, that's how it is at my job. It's one weekend day a month. Not a month, a week. One weekend. We work 4 weekdays on one weekend. Or however it works out. Weekdays. Yeah, I can't exactly remember. It's like, hey, go to work either Saturday or Sunday, so work one of those, and then work 3 to 4 regular days. Because, like I said, it's an eight shift picking. When they say shift, it's like a 4 to 5 hour shift. So that's how they determine how many hours a week you're working.
But I need to look and see what time they have me come in tomorrow.
Yeah. So tomorrow, well, I won't be able to come on unless it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. I mean, at 10 o'clock in the morning ain't very nice.
Oh, yeah, me either.
Yeah.
And that's what,
I mean,
like, we pick our schedules, kind of. And
but
kind of with me being an insomniac, I was like, I'm night shift. And usually people want day shift. Like, day shift will fill up really quick. And I'm the opposite. I'm like, no, give me night shift. I want night shift.
Yeah. That's so how I used to be night shift. I really used to be night shift. Now it's night shift drives me nuts. Simply because bad transportation. Even if I were to catch a lift every night, which is expensive, it's not practical for me. And I've told them it's not practical for me to do night shifts. Anything past 10 p.m. I cannot do. I kept telling them that, and yeah, hasn't been fun.
Like tomorrow, I work 2:45 to 10.
Right. At least you get to do it at home.
Yeah. I do like that part.
Yeah. That's the one thing I could say. At least you could do it at home. God, I would love an at-home job, but I'll go bonkers sitting around doing work at home. So yeah, that's always that downside for me is I have to literally 9 hours. That lively yesterday was very unusual.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, yeah. I've done a couple of long lives, but that's because usually like that when I have multiple people on.
Right.
And we're just having a good time, just sitting there shooting shit. And it's
like last night.
Yeah.
I looked at the time. I'm like, oh, dear Lord. Has it really been that long?
Yeah, I think my first live, it was 4 hours,
Right.
and it was just the pure fact of we didn't even see the time. We were having a good time and didn't notice.
Yeah. Yeah, that has a tendency to happen because.
Yeah.
Whew,
But I like the way we do it to where it's not so
yeah.
structured.
Oh, yeah. I don't want structure in any of my live streams because I rather it be so relaxed and so people could actually get. I would rather it be more of a feel for each other and check on each other
Yeah.
too. Because God knows we both. For me, I want to check on everybody, see how they're doing, see how they really are doing. And
Yeah.
I sometimes chat to people away from YouTube
Yeah.
too. I've done it with Tiff, I've done it with Peggy, and honestly, it those are the most awesome chats I've ever had because it was just us talking, no pressure, nothing like that.
Yeah. And it's not the expected, like,
Structure.
here's an outline. This is what we're going to talk about. This is the amount of time we have to talk about it in. Plus, get in
Yeah.
comments and questions and.
Yeah. And that drives me nuts.
And me, I don't really like I said, my channel is for that unstructured, for that everybody come in, see how we're doing. If you need to vent, if you need to talk, whatever.
Yeah, I did that with Peggy and Tiff, and I brought them both on, and Peggy just let it all out. And I love Peggy. She's a doll. And I felt so horrible for her for what she had to go through with her daughter and her son. And it's like, oh my dear Lord. But I'm glad she felt safe enough to talk about it. If you catch what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, people, they go through their own emotions and their own way of healing different ways. And if that's the good way for Peggy to heal and get over it, then I applaud her for it. You know?
Yeah.
And some people, it takes years, decades to even try to talk about it. And
I talk about my problems all the time because that's how I deal with it. And you said it perfectly. You said it perfectly. It takes years, decades. And I don't judge anybody for it.
Right?
And I know it's harder for some people to deal with their emotions and grapple with what happened than others.
Oh, yeah. Everybody, it takes a different process. I mean, because, like, you take the people from Scientology, right? Scientology really takes it to where you beat that down. You don't say nothing. You don't talk about your feelings. You don't talk about your thoughts.
Right.
It comes down to it. You are not a person in Scientology. You're
Which is fucked up.
Yeah. You're who Scientology wants you to be.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of Scientologists have to come to grips with that and learn who they are to begin with.
Yeah.
And then go through those emotions and learn how to cope and how to deal with what actual real world is.
Yeah. And I'm still trying to figure out who I am. And I came from a cult myself, so I have plenty of sympathy for them.
Well, it's like you said, Johnny. I mean, you were there at a very young age.
Yeah.
And from the mindset of being a little girl in the Mormon church, growing up like that, that's all you knew. Being a little girl, you didn't know the outside world. You didn't know things were different except for what you read or what you see.
Yeah, and here's the thing is, I used to be homeless. I was homeless before I got baptized into the Mormon church. And I was homeless after I was baptized too. I never could figure out why anybody would want to be a part of a church that truly does not give one crap about the people. Because if they did, they wouldn't let the people suffer. If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not perfect. I'm the farthest thing from perfect. And I said it before and I'll say it again. I smelt the BS lie before they even opened their mouth about the religion and that whole Joseph Smith seeing God, and that shit just did not make sense to me. I've read parts of Deuteronomy and I cannot figure out which but chapter first I read it that, and I've used this against the Mormons before, and I'm still not excommunicated. No man shall see the face of God and live. I'm like, explain that to me. How can you see the face of God and live when it's explicitly said in the Bible you cannot see the face of God and live? Please explain that to me.
Because these religions, they don't claim that they see God. They claim they hear God. They talk to God. Right?
Right.
That's their loophole.
Yeah.
Because I know, especially like from your Mormon faith, supposedly only the bishops can talk with God.
It's the bishops to the epi-presidency of the Mormon Church.
Right. And it's only the men. Women cannot have that power.
And you can understand why I pretty much outed myself several times. I don't believe.
Yeah.
Still don't. And I still haven't gotten excommunicated. And I'm scratching my head. What do I have to do to get excommunicated in this? Officially excommunicated by the Mormon Church. Please tell me so I can do it. That isn't illegal.
Call your bishop up. Tell him you've converted. Tell him you're Catholic.
Oh, I've told him. Oh, by the way, I've been going to the Catholic Church. Nope. They're like, you're still a member.
Really?
Yeah, I said, Even if I get baptized in another church, still a member.
Wow. Have you tried the satanic cult? Tell him you're a part of the satanic cult.
I've tried that. He's like, you're still a member. I'm like, what do I have to do to get kicked out? He's like, you're really shiny that you don't hide who you are as a person.
And now all that is them trying to say that with them, they don't care. They want you on their roster for their numbers.
Mm-hmm. And I actually agree.
That's all it is.
Yeah, and I've also, the one thing that people get mad at me with, I always say, please be nice to the Mormon missionaries. 95% of those missionaries have no clue about the outside world.
They don't.
You have to literally use kid gloves with those missionaries.
Those missionaries, 90% of them have not had any public education.
Yep.
Because it's all within the Mormon community.
Yeah.
It's all within the subsidiary housing. Like all the Mormon community that's together, like in say Utah in the Creek area. I know that's all. Yeah. All the Creekers are in one area and all the Lakers are in another, and all of them, they had for a very long time, it was their own schooling was on property.
Yeah.
And
I was part of the public education, so I did have more access to the outside world.
Right. And I know that at one time the schooling was shut down back then for a little while because of something. I don't remember what it was. And so they had to go to public. But even then, it was very selective. And even going from elementary on a high school, once they even get to college, going to BYU is nothing more than going to a Mormon school.
It is true, and
it is Mormon structured. It's Mormon led, and they don't allow the outside influences.
So true. So true. I almost went to BYU. I was literally this close to BYU, and I changed my mind because I didn't want to be part of a religious school. That's what stopped me from going straight into to BYU. It just didn't, plus it just didn't sit well with me.
Mm-hmm. And then once kids are in college, the males, they go for a year and then go to a missionary and then come back.
Mm-hmm.
So right there, you're talking about 19-year-old kids going from a very sheltered life, not knowing any of the outside world, to bam, you're going to some third world country, having to learn a third world language most of the time.
Yeah.
And having to prophesy to these very outsiders, because they're not even a part most of the time of the U.S. I mean, there is some U.S. locations. Yeah. I do know that they have U.S. Missionaries.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's off U.S. soil.
Yeah. And then, to me, that's human trafficking. I don't care how you dress it up. To me, that's human trafficking.
Mm-hmm. Because then they come back after, what, 2 years, right?
Yeah.
2 years.
2 years.
3 years for the guys?
2 years 18 months for the females, 2 years for the males.
Yeah, the males come back after 2 years, and it's right back to school.
Yeah.
And it's grueling, no matter if it's female or male on the missionary work. It is very structured. You do this at this time, and this at this time. You're told what to do, when to do it, how to do it.
Yeah, and who with.
Yeah.
And this is what really trips people out. Because I'm from Utah, and I can honestly say this is true. In Utah, they have seminary classes between 7th and 12th grade. It's one class easy once a day or every other day, depending on the school you go to in your school district. You can either do it in the morning.
Hi, Juliana. Thank you.
Hi, Juliana. You either do it during school or before school. And it's taught by missionaries.
Oh, by missionaries?
Yep.
So seminary school isn't even taught by an elder. Yeah, not even a teacher. It's not even taught by an elder. It's taught by a missionary.
Yeah. Which is trippy to me because I'm like, I'm trying to make sense of it, and I'm like, I can't make sense of this. How am I supposed to believe this religion if I can't make even one iota of sense of what you're trying to teach me? I never went to seminary school because I never understood it.
Yeah, that, I guess their thinking on that is maybe peer-to-peer learning.
Maybe.
I don't know. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I'm just trying to give you a broader look into the Mormon church, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I lived with it and had to deal with it on a level that I wasn't ready for.
And I know,
what?
I know, like, a lot of people say with Mormon, there's, you know, it's a lot on just your religion is taught through school. And you're not taught any physical or sexual education.
Right.
And I didn't know if your experience was any different of, did you get any kind of education from your parents?
I accidentally watched a porn. So, when I was a kid. That was my introduction to sex. And I asked my mother, I'm like, what are they doing? And she had to sit down and tell me, oh, they're having sex. I'm like, what sex? Explain this to me. And
how old?
I was 10 when I watched my first porn. I had no clue what I was watching.
Right.
And I told my dad what my mother told me. He got pissed. And rightfully so. No kid should be exposed to sex, let alone a porn at that age.
No, but unfortunately nowadays, I mean.
Yeah.
But I also know in the Mormon faith, girls are not taught at all. It's expected the husband teach the wife what it is. And
Yeah.
I'm like, but that's too late.
Yeah.
I mean, by now, these women are feeling very violated.
Yeah. And they don't even know what consent is.
Right.
And so they deal with the abuse.
Yeah, because they don't know the words. And they don't know how to pray. They don't like that.
Yeah. Or it's frowned upon. It's frowned upon when they say no. Because they have no concept of what rape is. They believe you can't rape your spouse. Rape somebody if you're married. That's
Right.
the best way I can explain it.
Let me ask you this, though, because, of course, it has to deal with it. When you hit the age of puberty and had your first menstrual, was that explained to you why it happens?
Yeah, I was in counseling. I lived in Oregon at the time. I didn't spend very much time in Oregon. But I was in Oregon. I was in counseling. I've told Tiff this. And I told my counselor at the time, I said, I'm bleeding. She's like, what? I'm like, I pointed down to my pubic area. And I said, I'm bleeding. She's like, she sat me down and explained it to me what a cycle was. She literally sat down and told me what a cycle was. My first menstrual cycle was. I felt so unprepared and so violated for not knowing.
Did you feel scared because all of a sudden there's blood and you didn't know where it was coming from, kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah. And I also have a learning disability, so I asked you just be honest and explain it to me the best way you can. And she did. And I'm grateful she did. And it took me a minute. I'm like, oh, that's what it is. I was 11 and had no clue.
Yeah.
I was like, and I felt gross. I was like, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That was my biggest problem with growing up. And then my nephew had to go blog to everybody. I'm like, if I wanted people to know about my cycle, I would have just told them myself. Shut your mouth and be quiet. I was very blunt about it. She's like, well, I want people to know. I'm like, I don't. That's a very private matter to me.
Yeah. And isn't it? Don't you have to wear different socks?
It's magical underwear. And that's its own weird concept.
But I thought it was also y'all wore like these pretty frilly socks until then.
No.
And then, No?
No, it's the magic underwear. And that's word on its own.
Oh, okay. Because I thought there was some kind of like outward display that y'all wore to let
Mm-mm.
others know basically you've had your cycle, so you're becoming a woman type thing.
Mm-mm. I've asked about it. They're like, nope. It's only the magic underwear. They didn't call it magic underwear at the time. They call it something else I can't remember on the top of my head.
Was it the
Which
garments?
is, yeah. Which is still weird to me. I'm still trying to wrap my brain around. They're always going, sorry. They're always going to be the magic little underwear, garments, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And all that. What I find hilarious is everything they believe in, you can prove otherwise. One way or nothing. You can prove otherwise. Whether it be the magical underwear or the, how should I put it? The belief in baptisms for the dead,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
actually weird on its own. I can't explain that. And I've been asked about it. I'm like, look, I don't practice that religion. I don't believe that religion, so please don't ask too much. I could give you the information that I know, but that's about it. And
What
they're
age
like,
were you when you finally left? Like when you
what?
started not appreciating?
I didn't catch all that. What was that?
What age were you when you finally left? Like when you finally disassociated?
How can I explain it? I never actually believed in the religion to begin with. I was baptized, but I never actually believed.
Right, but what I'm saying is like far as your family and things were concerned that knew, okay, you weren't going to go to church. You weren't gonna.
It, it's a weird way of looking at it. Me trying to explain it is some of my family knew that I never actually truly believed. Some of them could have cared less and said, "Oh, so long as you believe in something more, we don't care." And I said, "Whatever. I don't believe in God at all." And they're like, "Well, you got to believe in something." I'm like, "You're making me an atheist by the way you're acting.
Right.
If you truly want to make me happy, stop pushing a religion I don't believe in, and we'll be able to be happy. And stop trying to question my beliefs."
Right.
And some finally dawned on them that, wait a second, she never actually said she didn't love us. She cares about us. She just can't believe in what we believe. I'm like, thank you. You finally got what I've been trying to say all this time. I don't believe in what you believe.
Right.
I'm not forcing my beliefs down your throat. I will never do that to you. stop it with me. And they respected that. Whereas I still get family members who still want me to go to church and all this and that. And I've been told by a few family members that once I die, and they said, we don't wish death upon you, but once you die, we're going to do baptisms for you. I'm like, oh no, you're not.
Right?
I'm just,
Like,
I'm telling you, no, you're not. I don't want any of these endowments upon me. Please don't.
that's them trying to force that baptism of the dead on you.
Yeah. The only thing I can actually say good about the Mormon religion, in my opinion, is I was able to do some family history. That's about it. And that's me being nice about it.
Yeah.
And I was able to trace my family lineage, like I said yesterday, back to the 1200s.
That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because at least you get that. Because like you heard yesterday, I didn't, I can't trace mine back like that.
Yeah. It's difficult to trace, though, for me, some of them, because there's like so many different lines and there's so many still question marks about it.
Yeah.
Like, say, I can have somebody on my line I didn't know about, and yet there could be like 5 different people also claiming the same thing. And think, oh no, you can't be related to this person because of some stupid reasoning. And I always come up and ask the same question: how do you know? Which is my favorite question. Is how do you know? That person could have hundreds of thousands of descendants by now, and you're just one of them. So yeah, that's one thing about the Mormon religion I can appreciate, is they do take their family history seriously.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the biggest hook, is they can take it seriously enough to where, say you were baptized, they would want you to do a family tree, starting with yourself, your parents, your grandparents, great grandparents, and then from there they'll try to help you fill in all the blanks.
But don't they want you to try and do that all the way back to Adam and Eve?
Yep. All the way back.
That's the crazy part.
And it is pretty much impossible.
Yeah.
Lord knows I've tried. I always hit stumbling blocks. Not my own lackadaisy of interest. It's how do I find people in my family tree I can't find.
Right. there's no records. There's no records. You're not going to be able to find it.
Exactly.
I mean, I can't find it past my great grandparents.
Yeah, it's impossible. And I even said, I actually had one lady say to my face, because her and I had an ancestor in common, say, oh no, we're not related. She's on my family tree. I turned around and said, excuse me. She's also on my family tree. We're cousins. Deal with it. You ain't that special.
Right.
And it happened to be on my dad's side, which pissed her off because I was more of a direct descendant than she was. She was like a niece, great niece or something, and I was the great granddaughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, and it's not just me, you have to get by. It's also everybody else on my dad's side of the family.
Yeah.
Which pissed you off because, even more because I pretty much told her, you're not going to get us a teenager. I said in the teenage way, you can't have this person. She's like, but, don't but me. Let's just move on from this subject. And she still, to this day, won't talk to me. I've seen her around a couple times, and she still refuses to talk to me. I'm like, holding the grudge is not part of the Mormon religion. I should know. I've had to find my way through everything. Yeah, that's another thing I've learned how to do is lie my way through certain things I don't think I should have had to lie through.
Yeah.
And I don't feel guilty about it because they've lied to so many people.
Oh yeah.
And far worse lies than I could ever tell. And yet, there are some really good Mormons out there. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, there's not a single good Mormon. There are really good Mormon people out there who, I'm going to say, if they have the religion, they will still be good people.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that for a fact.
There is a good such thing as good people, and they can separate the person between the religion.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I do it all the time.
right. You can be your own self without your religion being there.
Yeah.
It can be a part of you, but it doesn't have to define you.
Yeah, like I said, I do it all the time. My niece's grandparents on the mom side, the grandmother is a total sweetheart. She would bend over backwards for anybody. And she knew from the beginning, first time she met me, her and I respect each other. She knew I didn't go to church. She knew why. And never held it against me. And she's like, you're the first person I found that isn't going to sit here and harangue me about religious stuff, whatever's going on. And you actually understand more about what's going on in the real world. I'm like, that's what happens when you got screwed over by so many people. And yet I also know there's some pretty horrific members of the Mormon Church at all levels. I'm not talking about the lonely missionary or the janitor at the temples. I'm talking about at every level. It goes from the bottom up. And it just sickens me to know a lot of innocent, good people and are being hurt by this religion in one form or another because they do not know anybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's what hurts me. And call it me having a good heart, good soul, whatever. I try to show compassion to everybody. I may have been hurt, but I don't want somebody else to get hurt if I could help it. Yeah, you could call it breaking the cycle.
Right.
And yeah, you could call it a choice. I chose to break the cycle. Only because I've seen what happens when you don't break the cycle. If you don't break those bonds. As much as I don't want, as much as I would love to keep my family together, there's some things that have to happen.
Yeah.
And I've lost a lot of family members over it. And it pains me to say that I've lost family. And I'm still trying to come to terms with the fact that my mother's sister can never truly. She's the one that hurt the most. She wasn't able to accept the fact of me being me. She's so right wing that it's not even funny. She's one of those religious nutty birdies that if you were to tell her that you were pro-choice,
Yeah.
she'll Bible bash you until your head claps in. Kind of people. And I'm not about Bible bashing anybody.
No, but Joni, even though it's family, that's where you got to realize you made your choice. They made theirs.
Yeah, I've lost family over this shit. Blood family over this shit is what I'm saying.
Yeah. But like you said, you made your choice.
Yeah.
And you've made the choice for you to be better. For you to be you.
Yeah, I have to find who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not a cookie cutter woman.
If you were still to be who you are, but be in the Mormon church, you would be a different person. You wouldn't be able to survive that way because you couldn't be who you are.
Right. I'm not a cookie cutter. I'm not this cookie cutter fucking Mormon. Pardon my language. I'm not a cookie cutter Mormon. I'm not built to be a cookie cutter Mormon. I know too much. And I cannot agree with the Mormon church at all on a lot of things. I am a LGBTQ plus ally, and Mormon church, just like all the other religions out there, hate the
Mhm.
LGBTQ plus community. They,
Oh yeah, yeah. They tried, wasn't it here just a few years ago? They tried to come out saying that they were
yep,
aligned, but they're
yep.
not. They are still very much against it. They
Yeah,
they don't even tolerate.
and here's the hilarious part of it. I know I shouldn't laugh about this. It's not even a laughing matter. Is they believe in conversion therapy, big time, which is
Conversion therapy
something.
needs to be outlawed.
Yeah, I'm just giving you an example.
Yeah.
They believe in conversion therapy. It's ugly on so many levels.
Oh yeah, it's very inhumane.
Yeah, nobody, nobody should lose who they are because a religion said, well, you have to change who you are to suit us.
Right.
That's who I am. That's not who I am. Who I am is a LGBTQ plus ally. Someone who is trying to show compassion to those who haven't had compassion shown to them.
Well, it's like
I'm
Joni,
not,
with both of
but
us, we both have a learning disability.
yeah,
So just in Scientology, we both wouldn't be even accepted in Scientology just on
yeah,
that factor alone.
oh
And it's
yeah,
like that shouldn't be something that is even categorized
yeah,
to be a factor in whether you're let into a religion or
yeah. The Mormon Church does not care about somebody's disability. They see us as special. We're made special by God. I'm still trying to figure that one out. We were made special by God. How?
Yeah, how, for why, for what purpose?
Yeah. Tell me. And another thing that pisses me off, only because I can't understand it, is how the Mormon Church could sit there and say, "Oh, you chose your family in your pre-life." Let that sink in, because I didn't choose my family. Because if I did, I certainly wouldn't have chosen the family I had. Especially the family members I had. Granted, I would also say this. I don't think my life would have been the same if I had to choose my family.
Right.
And I'm not trying to downplay anything, my abuse or anything like that.
But it's
If
that
I change,
what if game. I mean, everybody goes through that.
yeah, I'm completely honest about my viewpoints. If I changed anything about my life, nothing would have been the same. And I know that. And I wouldn't trade having my certain family members in my life, especially when I was a child. And my biggest pain and my biggest regret is I lost my brother 13 years ago to a accidental drug overdose. That's the best way I could describe it. He didn't choose to go out. I know he didn't. My biggest regret is I never actually went and checked on him when I had the chance the day before he died. That's my biggest regret in my life right now, if that makes any sense.
It does, but hindsight's 2020,
Yeah.
and you need to look more on what you can on the happy side rather than regretting that.
Oh, I can honestly say he gave me 3 beautiful nieces. 3 beautiful, wonderful young ladies who I love and adore to this day. Now, anybody messes with them, the crazy comes out. I'm the crazy auntie, and I will bitch slap anybody that messes with my nieces. That's just part of my personality. I love my nieces more than I love my own self. And I love myself a lot. That should tell you how much I love my nieces. I'm more than happy to go to jail if it means my nieces are protected from anybody. From anybody who decides to harm them. I'm willing to go to jail to protect them. They mean that much to me. And I can't imagine my life without them. I really can't.
The best thing you can do is just be there for them and know them. And Joni's here, and you're always an open door.
Yeah. Oh, they already know. If we ever want to come up to Washington, Portland, Washington, come on up. You got a place to sleep. If you're on hard times, come on in. My doors are wide open for you. They know that. They know my number.
Even like what we're doing now, just to know that they can lean on you and talk to you, because even that is good support.
Yeah, I told him if you ever want to call me, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if I'm at work. I'll stop what I'm doing to answer my phone for you. Even if it's your grandma's phone you're calling from, I will answer my phone for you.
Mm-hmm.
If they say, I just need to talk, Joni, I'll sit and listen.
Yeah.
They know that. They know my door is open. Not just physically open, but I'm here for that. That's the biggest reason why I'm fighting to stay alive. Is I want them to see that the dad side of the family was stubborn little assholes, but we love you. We're willing to fight for you. And what's sad is I should have had my dad's last name. That's not a joke or hyperbole or anything. I should have had my dad's last name from the beginning, from when I was born. My last name should have never been Cummings. It should have been Beckley. Simple as that, and I know it. My mother knew it. She did it to piss my dad off. I know she did. And I'm trying to find a family lawyer to help me change my last name. Not change my birth certificate and my last name. That's my dad on my birth certificate. Because I don't know what else I can do. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's something I'll never regret, is having my dad's last name. I've always wanted to have his last name and not my mom's, because of all the trauma that is linked with my last name. And I figure if it helps me heal or gives me some closure, I'm willing to do it.
Yeah.
I might be the last person with my dad's family last name standing, but it's still worth it. Because like I said, there's so many people with the same last name as me. If you didn't know what I looked like, you wouldn't figure out who I am. That's how common my name is. First and last name. I've looked online, and it's not just my Facebook, but I've found like 100 different people with the same name all over the country. Different ages, but all over the country. And I do not find that rude, which is a blessing and a curse at the same time, as you could imagine.
Yeah. And is your mom still practicing in?
Nope, she passed away.
Oh, she passed away too.
Yep, she passed away almost a decade ago. I know that sounds cold hearted of me, and that's because as much as I want to say I love my mom, I can't love her the way she needed a child to love her. I wanted to be that child that could love her. She just drained all my emotional energy away from me when we were in contact. Every time she came around, I'm like, I can't. I said, I said the words, I love you, Mom, but I never actually met them.
Yeah.
I can't get mad at her. I can't get mad at a dead woman. I know she had a lot of her own problems. And I hope she finds peace and forgiveness. I forgive her, and I truly do mean that. I forgive her for what she put me through. because she wasn't given the right tools herself from her dad and stepmom or her family, which messed her up as a child, which messed me up as a child. If that makes any sense.
Oh yeah. And wasn't she the one that was from the Mormon faith in the beginning?
Mm-hmm. It goes. See, my grandfather on my mom's side didn't get baptized into the Mormon church until after he met my grandmother. And then he got baptized into the Mormon church. His whole family, his parents and siblings, got baptized into the Mormon church, from what I understand. And they're all from New York and Pennsylvania, that area. And so they got baptized back in the day, early 1900s, early to mid 1900s. My grandmother tried to raise my mother in the Mormon church the best she could because that's what she was taught in the Mormon church. Send your kids to church every Sunday, blah, blah, blah. This is what you need to do. All these different things. Well, that screws the whole family up if it's not done right. I don't have a problem with religion until it's weaponized against somebody. And the Mormon church is a weaponized religion. In more ways than one. I've seen them weaponize religion. They've tried it with me and it backfired. That's all I gotta say about that. It backfired big time on them because they know I never truly believed.
And then didn't your mom marry your dad, who was a non-believer?
Yeah. They got married and he was a Methodist. He was raised Methodist, so which gave me an out. I had an easy out if I wanted to take it. Because Mormons don't play with Methodists. Well, like, Mormons don't like Methodists because Methodists are very much more lenient as far as religious beliefs go. Let's say you be baptized and say you were LGBTQ plus. They are more accepting of you. Whereas the Mormon church would do everything in their power to use gay conversion therapy against you. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're just more palatable. Methodists are just a little bit more palatable to me than Mormons. I don't know why.
It's just a different form. It isn't as strict as like Mormons are, like more structured on what you're supposed to do every day to day.
Yep.
And as far as like Protestant religions, it's not really strict into every day, but more of this is what you're supposed to do day to day, but it's more of like, watch your sins, make sure you take care of your earthly body, your temple, and, do all the commandments kind of thing. And
Yeah.
then, of course, do the church Wednesday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as structured.
Yeah, and another thing I liked about the Methodists is they don't believe in the afterlife. What we do here on earth does not affect us in the next life. Kind of thing. Like, say, I go beat the living color out of somebody for stupid reasons. That won't be whole. I'm dead. What is anybody going to do to me? Kind of stretchy. Burn my body? Yeah, I actually asked my dad about that one. He's like, Methodists don't believe in the afterlife. Once you're dead, you're dead. That's it.
There's some Methodists that do believe the soul still goes to heaven.
Right. He didn't. His family didn't. His grandpa was on his dad's, not his dad's side, his mom's side, my grandmother's side, was a Methodist preaching, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Which gave me a better insight to where it was coming from. I'm not trying to justify it. It just gives me a better insight into the religion itself.
Yeah. And I'm sure it gave you different insight too on Mormonism versus other religions.
Yeah, because I was born into the Mormon religion. Yeah, I was exposed to more different. I was exposed to different religions versus I know the churches who that still drives me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Because I already have a different insight to another religion. I was exposed to other religions. It made it easy for me to question the Mormon church. If that made sense.
Yeah. Well, you were one of the few that actually got that diversity, unlike other Mormons that's all they get. And so if you're living on blind faith, then that's all they believe. That it's blind faith and the church is true just because Bishop said so.
Yeah, or the living prophet.
Yeah.
I'm still tripping over that one. I'm sorry, I don't believe I don't believe in the living prophet. The living prophet does not exist to me.
What kills me is with the FLDS and how they can still follow a prophet that's in prison.
Mm.
He's in prison. He's already confessed once prior that he is not prophet.
Yeah.
It's videotaped. It's evident.
Oh yeah.
He has confessed he's not prophet. It was a scam. It was phony.
Oh yeah.
And
the whole thing was phony.
Yes. And the FLDS members are still like, oh no, but you are. So you need to continue. And here you go. And they're basically like back to square one. And
yeah, that's blind faith right there to me too.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. And yes, had God knows how many wives.
Oh God, yes. I know he has over 20.
Yeah.
But what's funny on that end though is he can't procreate with those wives.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you know what, Mr. Jeffs, that's what gets you. Your ass went to the pen because you were procreating with underage wives that shouldn't have been allowed in the first place.
Yeah. When
Like, I myself, I believe that the El Paso place that they found, they should
yeah,
have burned that place to the ground.
yeah. When I first heard what had happened, I was drinking a soda and I spit that shit out. I was like, what did I just hear?
Mm-hmm.
I because that obviously I found that shit disgusting.
Yeah. But I know even to mainstream Mormons, right? Even to LDS, the prophet is still not supposed to have worldly things and do worldly outings and things like that.
Yeah.
It's still supposed to follow the Mormon faith.
Yep.
And for the FLDS prophet to go out on when he was running from the law and go to Disneyland and all this other stuff, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I mean, that just shows you that he wasn't out for the church. He wasn't out for his parishioners. He wasn't doing things
Good.
for anybody but for himself.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. And it just disgusts me because of, as you know, I of my background, I can't understand why any. I'm trying to understand where these women are coming from. I really am, and I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it. I know some of these women are highly educated, intelligent women, and I'm trying
But
to sit here and wrap
it's that blind
my.
faith, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm like, how can you agree to marry a man who already has all these wives? How can you agree to let your daughter marry this man who has already 20 something odd wives, if not more? How can you let this happen?
It's part of that branch of FLDS. They've
Yeah,
been doing it since Joseph Smith days. It's
I
been
know.
going on in secret.
It's still happening to this day.
Oh yeah.
That's just the latest of what's going on. You still, nobody will ever truly know the extent of the damage done by Warren Jeffs
No.
or
No, they
his
won't.
followers. Because I've seen the documentary, part of the documentary, The Lost Boys, which is about a
How he
group
kicked all
of
the boys
young,
out.
what?
How he kicked all the young boys out.
Yep, I've seen
And that,
part of it, and I
yep.
had to stop watching it because I found it so disturbing.
And it came down to, in Jeff's mind, I truly believe he was trying to get rid of the
Competition.
opportunity, yeah, and the competition for the ladies to where he could have them all. That there
Yeah,
wouldn't be any resources for the
for
young
them.
women. And then he could
Yeah,
control even more for the other men that was single that he was breaking up marriages for, and then
yeah.
saying who can marry who.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yes. I'm not even going to deny that. And Mormonism, mainstream Mormons, will straight up deny they believe in polygamy. Oh, that was back then. They still believe in polygamy.
Mainstream Mormons, from what I've heard, they'll go as far as even basically denying like FLDS exists, but they know
Yep.
that is a branch.
Oh, they'll deny it till the second coming of Christ if they
Yeah.
did.
They know
I'm
that
not.
that is a branch of their religion. They know it exists. They know that is
Mhm.
because they can tell you back in Joseph Smith's time, these three split off and these three branches become this, and it happened
Yeah,
again and again and again. And it's like,
it happened so much that now they're denying it. And I don't know if I should laugh, cry, or just throw giggle fit because of how hilariously stupid it is.
yeah,
And I can't believe I was baptized into a religion that can't even keep its own history straight.
right.
And it's a recent religion. If it can't keep its own history straight,
They don't want it to, though, Joni. They don't want
yeah,
their parishioners to know the truth.
yeah. I I've questioned the Mormon Church so many times in so many different ways, and I've I've done it politely. I've blatantly said, "What do you tell somebody who doesn't believe?" Oh, pray about it. What if they don't believe and pray? Oh, pray about it. You can only tell somebody to pray about it so many times before they start giggling about it. That's where I'm at. Tell me to pray one more time, and I'm going to start laughing. And I've read all the docs. I've seen all the paperwork. I've seen everything that I could get my hands on. I know I haven't seen all of it. And there's still so much coming out about the Mormon Church
Yep.
that if somebody told me, well, I heard about this in the Mormon Church, I'm like, it's probably true. Probably true.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't doubt it. And I've been approached by a few people. So, I heard this about the Mormon Church. Oh, probably true. Yeah, probably true. They're like, you're not going to sit here and make excuses? Why? Why?
Why defend something you don't believe?
Yeah. Why defend not just don't believe that I can honestly say does not make any sense.
Right.
It's my why. It's not getting me out of it's not my get out of free card. It's my I really don't give a crap card.
Right.
I could
Oh, yeah.
say why. I could say why until the cows come home. Why should I? What do I have to gain from this? It's a simple concept. What do I have to gain from denying anything? Because to me, I have nothing to gain and nothing to lose from the Mormon Church denying or confirming anything from the Mormon Church.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just like part of like Jehovah's Witnesses. I almost got baptized into the Jehovah's Witness. So close, but still didn't make any sense. They wanted me to give up everything I believed in, my constitutional rights, and all that. And I'm like, no. I have to sing against any religion that promotes patriarchy over an equal relationship. Who says masturbation is wrong? Oh, please. Where does it say that in the Bible? Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Because I have certain viewpoints on a lot of things, and you hear me say what I said about how I'm pro-choice, which means my body, my choice.
Right.
That's every religion is pro-life. They're against abortion under any circumstance.
Hmm.
I can't. I cannot agree with a religion like that.
No.
No matter how you doctor it up, I cannot agree to any religion like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're trying to make it to where it's like countrywide, to where, and it's like, no.
Yeah. That, of course, I'm going to question why. It's, I want the right information. Why should I believe you over somebody else? What makes your religion unique?
They're not. They're all on the same fundamentals,
Yeah,
but differ in rules and structure.
that's all.
I mean, it's all based on blind faith, and then from there, their stories kind of, that's where their religions differ.
Yeah.
Except Scientology, which claims to be a religion that has nothing to do with a religion at all. So,
I have so many problems with Scientology, it's not even a joke.
yeah.
They make Mormonism look like saints, which is ironic because they say they're the Latter-day Saints. Yeah. Diane is not lost on me.
Yeah.
I know what he just said, and Diane is not lost on me on that comment.
Oh, yeah.
And I like, God, you make Mormonism look like saints and understandable. And
But,
that's scary coming from somebody like me.
yeah, but what made me happy was to know their the biggest event that they try to make all their parishioners come to, the IAS event,
Yeah.
worldwide, they couldn't even pull in 9,000.
1,000 people. Yeah.
I'm like, that's awesome. Because this belief that they have like hundreds of thousands of people, no,
No.
not even close.
I mean, my God, the Mormons could get 100,000 in like 5 seconds flat if they say general conference this weekend. That's not a joke of how I believe. If they would just announce general conference on any given weekend, the Mormons could get 100,000 to Salt Lake in like within a few weeks. And that's not including the Mormons that live in Utah, but Salt Lake. That's how quick they could get people in
Yeah, but
to
I
the
think
Mormon church.
Mormon church inflates their numbers. And I think the numbers they have now, they try to include that with all Mormon branches.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can think of they have the number that they do.
They also believe in procreation. I'm talking like big time procreation. I've seen women with 5, 6 kids.
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
where's the birth control?
They
Of
don't
course, my
believe in
first. Yeah, they don't. You're right, they don't. I believe in birth control of any kind, whatever it may be.
yeah. Oh no, because
May
they quote it from the Bible and from the
the
Book of
Book of
Mormon.
Mormon. Yeah.
Go forth and multiply, and they
Mhm.
take that shit to heart. And
Mhm.
it's why I hate to bring it up, but like the Duggars, 21
Oh,
kids.
that's a lot of fucking kids.
That is, and it's like
And what?
that's too many.
Yeah, you. There's such thing as, like you said, too many.
Yeah, that's too many. And all these reality shows now with all these couples with kids and stuff. And I'm just like, why?
Yeah, money.
Well, I know the shows are for money, but
Yeah,
why have that many kids? Having kids is horrible on the body.
yeah. It's dangerous for the woman and the child. I, I don't care how advanced we came as far as medical advancement. It's still dangerous for the woman.
Yeah, and even like as far as the Mormon faith goes, the Mormons still highly believe in midwives and birthing at home.
Yeah,
And a lot of that is because of so many kids and or because of the polygamy and not wanting to be having the government or the law involved.
yeah. Now in the state of Utah, they do force women, if you're to a certain extent, to go to the hospital. I was born at the University of Utah, and it's all over my birth records. I'm not going to pull out my birth certificate. God no. I was born at the University of Utah Hospital, which is actually a strictly hospital in the state of Utah. And I was supposed to be born at the LDS hospital, but my dad said, uh-uh, you have to tell my mom, your ass is going to the U of U hospital. You're getting your tubes cut and tied.
Oh,
My dad made that choice for her. That's guaranteed birth control.
yeah.
The
Yeah, because
LDS
that's
church
my
wanted
next question was going to be how many siblings did you have?
total of 2 brothers, and then me. I was the last child, and my dad's only child, biological child. I say that with a lot of certainty because nobody knows who my birthing child status, and I can't even tell you who his dad is. And it's not the lack of trying. I've tried to get it out of my mom. So yeah, Mormons really do believe in go forth and multiply with how many every kid you could get.
Oh yeah.
And having a man say no more, that's a scary thought.
It's a scary thought, but the wife also has to mind her
Agree.
husband, do as he says.
Yeah,
So
that's
if
what
your
they
dad,
believe.
if your dad put his foot down, then
He put his foot down.
yep. then that's what your mother had to do. Even
Yeah.
with him not being in the Mormon faith, that's
Yep.
part of her faith of saying she's below the man and she has to do what she
Yeah.
was told.
Yeah. She straight up said, "Oh, it was my choice to go with the getting my t- tubes cut and tied." Not really, because I was born in the 80s, early 80s. Well, they still had it to where I'm gonna be switching to my laptop soon, so where they still had it to where his, the man had to give consent,
Yeah.
especially in the as far as the woman would consent. The man had to give consent, and if the man said, well, the husband said, "Well, I want so many more bambinos," and the wife said, the woman said, "No, she couldn't go behind his back." Where does that leave the woman if she has to go behind his back in order to have more protection if she wants a hysterectomy or tubes cut and tied or whatever you want to say for her own protection if she doesn't want to have any more kids? That's why I'm so pro choice. My body, my choice.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just like with me. I'm lucky to even found a doctor that would go with my choice and go with what I wanted to do. Because with me not
Right.
having a kid, a lot of doctors won't even give you a hysterectomy until you've had at least one child.
Yeah.
And so with me and my doctor and me having endometriosis and unexplained infertility,
Yeah.
I'm not going to have a kid. It's just not
Yeah.
in my cards. And so I'm like, the hell with it. If I'm not going to be able to use it for what it's supposed to be for, and all I do
Right.
is get pain out of the shit, then take it all.
Yeah. Right.
And so I was very lucky to even have a doctor with that understanding
Yeah.
and didn't question me about it.
Right.
Because there's a lot of doctors, especially nowadays, that just that's one of the
Won't.
rules. You have to have at least one child.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't want. I'm like you. I don't have any children. I'm like you. I don't have endometriosis. I do. You're the third person I've met that's ever had endometriosis, and the first that hasn't had a child.
Because the cure for endometriosis is having a kid.
Yeah.
But
The,
the hard in the rock place there is getting pregnant with endometriosis because it
yeah.
can cause unexplained infertility.
Yeah. I actually had a teacher in college. I briefly went to college. She had endometriosis and she went in to have a complete hysterectomy, like you. She had a kid. And the doctor, when she came to, the doctor's like, "I am so sorry. Mind you, this is from her point of view. I did not realize how bad your uterus and fallopian tubes and all that was messed up because I guess all of that was so twisted around. I guess she wasn't supposed to have a child. Yeah. So yeah, I know it's possible,
Oh yeah, it's
but
possible. And it's very dangerous.
oh yeah, very dangerous. And I would never recommend a woman who has endometriosis have a child for their own safety. Not so much such, oh, but I want a child. I wouldn't recommend it for their own life. But I'm not
I
a
think
doctor.
yeah, I think it's as long as they do their due diligence and like get the sonograms and get
Yeah,
the imaging and stuff done to make sure everything's good,
yeah.
then yeah.
Oh yeah,
Because like me, one of the steps I took before I ended up getting hysterectomy is I had a tubal ligation done, which is just cleaning out the tubes.
yeah,
And so that right there is going to show you where the tubes are and that they're in the right position.
yeah,
And then, of course, when I was doing IUI, that showed, in the sonograms where everything was and that everything was doing fine.
yeah.
So that was good on my end. But
Right.
just finance wise, I could do no more. And I was just like, well, if I can't do it even with modern science, then
Yeah,
go on from there.
yeah. Science could only take us so far.
Well, they said I was
We have
perfect
to figure
candidate
out.
for IVF, but IVF is too expensive.
Yeah. Huh. I don't blame you. You can only do so much for as modern science.
Yeah, because IUI,
Right.
in vitro uterine insemination, that
Right.
alone, the procedure was $2,500,
Ouch.
and then that's not including the meds on top of it.
Right.
And of course, insurance doesn't pay for it.
Right.
The same with IVF. Unless you have really top notch, very expensive insurance, it's not going to pay for it.
Yeah.
IVF was never covered by any insurance I had.
Yeah.
And with IVFs, you're talking 25,000.
Right.
And I'm like, I definitely don't have that.
Right.
And that's for a 50-50 chance.
Right.
I was like, I can't do it.
Right. And I understand where you're coming from because insurance doesn't. I hate insurance at times because they want to promote health, but yet they don't cover a lot of these necessary medical procedures to save somebody's life.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, yeah, I was very much staunchly pro-life until I thought I was pro-life until somebody said, you're more pro-choice than you realize because you believe in a woman's right to choose for themselves.
Right.
And I gave you some examples last night with a woman's should be able to get an abortion if she so choose, if she was raped, if she was a victim of incest,
Mm-hmm.
or medically necessary to save her life. But it's a lot more than that. I believe a woman should also be educated enough, more than enough, with the right information. Have a doc. Honestly, they should have doctors teaching sex ed. The right kind of doctors teaching sex ed.
Well, I think also in schools nowadays, they need to teach like what I learned. I went to a special like math models class. And in that class, we had to learn finances. And I mean, it was, of course, like knowing how to make change, how to do a checkbook. But one of the
Yeah,
finances we had to learn was everything from getting pregnant to as soon as that baby pops out to the age of 18, how
yeah,
much it's going to cost to raise that baby.
yeah,
And back at that time when I was in high school, that was over $500,000
yeah,
a year.
yeah. But
And
I'm not. But with me, it's not just that. Have somebody financially literate too. Get an accountant.
mhm,
Help. We should be able to help not just ourselves but our children get the right kind of education
mhm. Don't
to
just treat it
help
with
them.
abstinence.
Yeah, I. But then again, I don't have children, so I can't speak from experience. I'm giving you my opinion, which
Mhm,
is different than your opinion.
mhm. And see, what I believed in is I believe in informed decision. And
Yes,
I believe every child, whether it's boy, girl, whatever, they need to know once you become an adult, money
yeah,
matters, finances matter, your life decisions matter. So
yeah,
once you go out into the world, you start doing adult things like getting married, buying a house, buying a car, starting a family. This all costs money. You got to learn how to budget. You got to learn how to do a bank account. You got to learn how to appropriately assess those funds for everything.
yeah, yep.
I think that would
Because
be so much better because they don't do that. And that's why a lot of people do end up in the situation they end up in because they don't have that information.
yeah,
They're never educated.
I wish I had that kind of education. It would have helped me a lot of more ways than I had to find out a lot of things the hard way.
Hmm.
And it wasn't, if I had the education, the right information, I wouldn't have made the same mistakes, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I can remember I was telling my grandmother this the other day. From growing up, I remember a lot. My grandma and grandpa used to tell me all the time credit matters. Whatever you do, listen, credit matters. They'd worked their married life trying to build up their credit. They finally got their credit to A plus rating. It took
Right?
them years and it took hard work, but they
Yeah,
did it. They got up into like the 800 credit score. They were doing damn good with their credit.
right.
And becoming an adult and knowing, I'm starting off with like a 500 credit score and I'm seeing what these creditors are seeing in my credit report and what I have to work with, and I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
And that's one
My
thing I
credit got
struggle with.
destroyed when I was a kid.
Yeah.
My credit got destroyed as a kid from my mother. She put a lot of things in my name, and I wish she didn't. Yeah, so my credit got destroyed because of her, because she couldn't get anything in her name because her credit was destroyed. So you see why I'm more hesitant to get things in my name or apply for credit cards because I got screwed when I was a kid. I believe in proper education, financial education, as she said, informed decisions.
Mm-hmm.
We really need to have a lot more informed decisions. It would save a lot of people a lot of problems.
Yeah. It really would.
Yeah,
I think our education system could be done so much better.
yeah.
And
It,
like nowadays, worrying about over, you know, what history books are being put and taught and throwing out all these books in every school and every library and all that. No, history is history. We learn from it. Leave it alone. Let's worry about now. Let's worry about how we can fix the actual education.
it's broken big time.
Yes.
Let's fix it because
Mhm.
they're God. They're going to make worse mistakes than we did. And I don't want that. We went through two world wars and we still haven't fixed our educational system. My God, what's wrong with us?
No, I mean, we've come a ways because, I mean, you know, school used to be just reading, writing, and arithmetic. That was it. That's
Yeah,
all they got. And it has grown in education.
yeah,
But I think nowadays, with what we do know, we could do better and we could make more informed decisions and make a more structured school system to where
yeah,
it doesn't have to put these kids out in the real world with useless information.
yeah, yeah. And honestly, there's been times when I think I'm back in high school at a job. I'm like, seriously?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I graduated high school like 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
This does not make any cohesive sense. And then, what is it? Today, me and a few coworkers were talking,
The what?
and we made a joke today about the new trainees, new hires at my job.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And we were like, ooh, who's going to stay longest? Yeah, that was very childish, very much a child brain coming back to haunt us. It was like a person joke. Who's going to stay the longest? Who's going to be trained because, the person don't drop the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those horrible jokes everybody got. Broken education system.
Mm-hmm.
Very much broken education system. And and people bitch and complain about the public education system. Gee, it's not just funding it. let's figure out how to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with the education system? And let's try to fix it to the best of our abilities so our children can be educated right.
Yep.
That's that's my point of view. It's not just a funding issue. It's how do we fix it?
Heck, when I was in school, I hated school so bad that my junior and senior year, I did work program. I went to school 2 hours a day, every day, and then I left school and went to work.
Yep.
So you can basically say my adulting life started then.
Yeah. I got kicked out of my mother's house when I was 16. Thank God my dad gave me, at the time, a soft place to land.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. My dad gave me a soft place to land. Do I wish I had a different situation? Good God, Jess. I wish I had a different situation. But it did make me stronger and realize I'm much stronger with the correct people in my life.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. That's what I found in this community is a better situation.
Mm-hmm.
A community of people that truly care. I care about.
Yep. That's what I like about it too.
Right. And I don't like too many people, so I'm gonna be honest, I don't like too many people. It's who I am. I don't like too many people.
Yeah.
And if I like you, I truly like you. That's who I am.
My dog's over there whining at me.
Mm,
He's sitting on the top of the recliner and just whining at me.
they'll look like, mommy.
He wants his snack, is what he wants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brat. Yeah. Me a brat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love our little community. We can gather and talk and feed
Oh
everybody
God,
stuff.
yeah.
You're all right. I promise, dude. Yeah, I promise. You're good. Yeah, 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 yeah. I know. I promise. Yeah. Come here. Come here. Come here. Get off that chair and come here. Come on. Come here, my little fluff ball.
Mm, my football is sleeping. I don't know if he was able to see, but she's like all passed out on my sheets.
Oh, you gonna get on your perch? Okay, get on your perch.
My cat's like too passed out to even care. She's like, my bed. Yep.
Yeah, I think one or both are over there sleeping in the chair. My cats. This one, he likes this. This is his perch. He likes being on my shoulders.
Mm. So cute.
Yep, okay. I know, I love you too. I know, yes, I know. So silly. Yes.
I'm gonna have to get off soon because I have to go to the bathroom and eat dinner. I don't want to be rude to you.
Oh no, you're not mean at all. I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get off here and put in their snacks and get ready for bed. Making it early night.
Yeah.
All right, but I definitely appreciate you hopping on.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime, Brandy. Anytime.
All right. Sorry it wasn't as an active chat as yours, but hey, I had a good time.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I'm more than happy to come on anytime you want. As long as I'm not at work.
Okay, Jody. Well, definitely have a good night.
You
See
too,
you later.
Brandy. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. I guess it's gonna be a good night here. I'm gonna have to go get this little one his snack. Okay. Have a good night, everybody.